So we're continuing on from the last video, and in this video what we're going to be doing is looking at what we achieved first in the last video is that we were able to create these caves, and we were going to add these caves to the JSON file, which we actually already did. So from the previous video we were able to go ahead and serialize this out, and let's look at the results of that. So if I hit play, it runs, everything is fine, and then all I need to do is go to my cave file here. I'm gonna double click that, and here's the output. If I want to see that formatted, all I need to do is right click on that, format my document, and I can see that I'm getting everything that I wanted except for the doors. So the doors are null, and the reason why they're null is because if you look here, I create my caves. So I create 1, 2, 3, 4 caves, then I add the caves. But then after that, I go ahead and print everything out here. And then down here what I do is then I go ahead and add those caves to the add cave procedure inside of the cave class. So the add caves procedure here, it takes in a string, which is the location, and then it takes in a link to cave, which is a cave. It takes that in, and then it goes ahead and adds that to a list of doors. So I do that last, which is why it doesn't get serialized. Now, the reason why I did that is because I wanted to address something that's going to happen if I try to do this. So let's say if I were to take this right here, and I'm going to put it above here so that way it'll add and then it'll serialize with it. What'll happen is it's going to see that I'm looping through all these caves, and every time it requests one of these caves, it's going to try to loop through. So when we look at our JSON file, we'll have this cave here, which is a cave, so there'll be an entire that entire cave would be in there. Then this entire cave will be in here, and this entire cave will be in there, and that entire cave, and it goes on and on. And what JSON is looking at is it sees it as like an endless loop almost, and so it'll give you an error. So let's look at how that will work. I'm going to run this, and immediately you see I get a circular reference was detected while serializing an object of type cave game.cave. So basically what that's saying is that that constant loop there, I would have to tell JSON to ignore that. Now with it's not as straightforward with the JSON compiler that we're using right now. Right now we're using the System Web Script Serializer. We're using that one, and it's not as easy to do it with that one as it is with the JSON.net version, the Newtonsoft version. So what we're going to do is we're going to leave everything like it is right now, but we're going to go ahead and first import the Newton JSON.net. And the way we do that is we go here to our projects, and we're going to select the project we're working on, and I'm going to right click on that, and then I'm going to go to manage NuGet packages. And then I'm going to go in here, up here, and I'm going to go to browse, and I'm going to search for Newtonsoft. Well, the second one that pops up, this one right here. So this is the one I'm going to want. And all you have to do is install this. Now, actually, I already have mine installed, so that's why it says uninstall. But all you need to push is install. And let me do this right now. I'm going to uninstall it. Okay, so I click it, and then I click on install. I accept this and hit OK. I can say don't show this again because I'm going to accept it. And once that happens, it's already installed, and I'll show you how I know it's installed. Because if I go over here to my projects, if I go to my references, if you don't see your references, just go ahead and click on this show all files right here, and you should see that. And also show all files will show your cave JSON. So then we're going to go to references, and then you see the first thing that's up there is that Newtonsoft.Json. So it is included in my project. Now all I need to do is go here and include it in my imports. So for my imports, I'm just going to type here imports Newtonsoft, and I want the JSON library. So there we have that, and really I don't want to have both of these here, so I'm going to remove this. I'm going to get some errors because we were using it before. I'm just going to replace the system web.script serializer with the JSON serializer. So I'm going to remove that, and so you see here I get my initial error, so we're going to have to change that. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to remove this SER for my serializer. After we remove the serializer up there, we go down here and then we're going to remove the serialized object from here because we no longer have a reference to it. And then because I already have a reference to this Newtonsoft up here, I can go ahead and directly call the JSON convert serialized object. And then I can remove that serialized there. And so now I'm using the JSON serialized object. Now I'm still going to get that error. So let me run this. This is what we have so far still, because we had an error last time, and I'm going to run this, and we're still going to get that circular error. And as you can see here, we get that circular error, and it's pretty much saying the same thing. This is a little bit more detailed explanation as opposed to the other one. So you see we're getting our errors now from JSON, from Newtonsoft. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this. And to resolve this issue, what we need to do is use the fact that Newtonsoft gives us the ability to change its settings fairly easily. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to dim a variable called settings, and I'm going to create that as a new JSON serializer settings. Now with the settings variable set, all I have to do is call upon the settings variable and then change the preserve referencing handling, and we're going to make that equal a preserve referencing handling, but we're going to pull from it. Oops, it already had it for us, preserve referencing handling. We're going to pull from it. We're going to say we want this to be none, and we're going to want the referenced loop handling. Which will equal the same, but we don't want the error because that's the default. We want it to ignore. And then here we want to go ahead and create the formatting so it's indented. Now this should fix our problem. Once we use this setting, we haven't used it yet, so we're going to take this setting right here and we're going to throw it inside of the serializer and put a comma there, throw it inside the serializer, no errors there, and this should solve our issue. So first let's go look at what we have now. So right now we have this here, okay, so each one has a door and each door leads to a particular, we have a list of doors or a dictionary of doors, and the index is the direction where the door is the north door, the east door, south or west door, and then with each one of those directions comes an actual cave. Alright, so when I run this, we should see this change here. I'm going to put this over here on the side. We should see this change after I run it. So I'm going to run this here. and immediately you see it change here. So now we didn't get an error. We were able to fix that circular issue. And remember, the reason why all of that happened was because in my JSON, I had a cave inside of a cave, which was inside of a cave, which was inside of a cave. So it was this weird loop that was going on. And whenever you get that issue, you're going to have to check these settings. You have to recreate these settings here to resolve that issue. So I'm going to stop this video here, and in the next video I'm going to go ahead and deserialize all of this.